So, a while back I made a dick bites pertaining to my concerns about the then upcoming Nintendo Switch. I was on the side of being very concerned for how Nintendo was going to handle the system, and expressed my fears of it falling to the same fate as the Wii U. If it weren't for the Legend of Zelda launching with the system, I would almost be 100% confident it would be on the road to the same failure that the Wii U was destined to travel down, and I really don't want another Nintendo system to fail. As a fan, as a lover of Nintendo games, as a Wii U early adopter, I'm begging you, Nintendo, get your shit together. Of course, I was not only wrong about how the console would do in broad terms, as the system has been an enormous commercial success for Nintendo and one of their best launch years in history for a new system, but I was also very wrong about how I would feel about the system myself. I can safely say that both as a handheld and a console, the Switch is looking to be by far one of my favorite consoles ever, and definitely my favorite handheld, bumping the close to my heart PS Vita from top dog. I've never been more happy to be so wrong. With that public humility out of the way, I'm leaving my extended thoughts on the Switch itself to another day. Today I want to talk about how the Switch's instant-on nature affects the way in which I can find myself engrossed in longer experiences.
For example, pardon me, you can release the tension from your shoulders.
If I like a Switch game, it becomes increasingly obvious that I really like a Switch game. Before I tell you how much game time I have between a relatively sparse amount of games, I need to contextualize how little I play one game for amount of time. I've been a customer on Steam for 9 whole years. The first pair of games I bought for Steam were Team Fortress 2 and Garry's Mod. Both are games ready for hundreds of hours of replayability, and yet for TF2 I have a humble 148 hours and a lesser 81 hours on Garry's Mod. They're both of my top 4 played games on Steam, and whilst that seems like a lot of hours, in 9 years, that's not much. In the last half a year or so that I've had my Switch, I've found time for 55 hours of LEGO City Undercover, 75 hours of Mario Odyssey, 85 hours of the Switch port of Minecraft, 100 hours of Breath of the Wild, and 150 hours of Splatoon 2, and these aren't even exact numbers, they're rounded down until I hit a higher playtime threshold. I've been tossing up what I like most about the Switch, and honestly, the reason I think I'm able to spend so much time with these games, open world especially, is because the system is just so damn quick to start up. A feature that rides close to the functionality of prior Nintendo rival Sony with their PS Vita handheld, the console locks in and can have any application resumed in seconds, from tiny pixel indies to spanning open-world games. Open-world games are usually unappealing experiences outside of their core campaigns or questlines to me, for the sheer fact that I can never hold my attention to regularly sit down, wait for a system to start, wait for the game to load, and then finally chip away at a few menial open-world tasks. With the Switch, however, I can jump out of sleep mode and be back at what I was last doing in a matter of seconds. I can chip it away and away and away at even the most mountainous experiences, 999 moons and all costumes, my dudes, and never get the fatigue I would get glued to my monitor or my TV for like 8-hour sessions apiece. Honestly, despite thinking Persona 5 is much better gameplay-wise than P4G, hell, I found the dungeons a slog by the end of P4G and just wanted to skip back to social linking and getting to know the characters. I've spent almost twice the time in Persona 4 that I have in 5, and I got them both on the same day. I can find myself in a position more often to flip open Persona 4 and grind out typical battle after battle, floor after floor, instead of even the interestingly adventurous dungeons and visually splendorous battles of Persona 5. Not just because of portability, I played them both at home, but simply because I can be back into the Vita instantly over the PS4, and I'm so happy Nintendo's opted onto this approach with the Switch. I'm gonna chuck in a side note and say I know some of you guys have ridiculously beefy systems that can load into Windows in seconds and be shooting Doom in another 15, but still, come on, that costs a lot to get there. This ethos of convenience and spontaneity is what carries the Switch experience forward. Sure, games can be less resolution and sometimes have half the frame rate. The odd port is even an unjustifiable mess. Looking at you, Rhyme, you have no business taking people's money, but you know what? This is what the future of games looked like when the Game Boy came out, when Pokemon came out. Each handheld playing leapfrog to be able to deliver the same quality of actual game as a console at any time, anywhere. And with the Switch, we're finally here. I mean, fuck, just look how much of a mess, as much as I love the system, some of the Vita's major ports were. Borderlands 2, Jak and Daxter Trilogy, both major franchises offering a console replica that fell down the technical landmine range and hit every bloody one. So, as much as portability and switch-em-up controller styles are toted, I personally feel the magic in the Switch is how spontaneous and playful it feels to boot up into a game and play around, whether it be for a side objective or just because doing a triple jump feels really, really good. Thank you so much for watching the new episode of Dub Bites on the new channel. You might recognize that this video was, if you're one of the 36 people that watched it, was on my old channel. I did change the footage around and re-upload it for this channel because I liked this video and I didn't want it to go to waste. Sue me. Special thanks to our 3 patrons for this month so far. Patrick Sykes, Jay Lewis, and Martin Abbott. You guys are the best, you keep me going. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you liked the video. Comment and tell me what you think of the Switch and if you think what I said applies to it. And I will see you when I do something else. Bye bye.